I'm filming this in the bathroom, so just, you know, bear with me. We'll just ignore the toilet paper in the toilet right there. We're just gonna not look at that. Hi. Hello. I just want to say that I have filmed this video 3 times. This is my 3rd time filming it. The first time was just stupid. I just didn't have it planned out. The second time was fine, but the sound quality was awful. So we're doing it again. Yes, I'm so excited. Today I'm gonna start a series about my planning process for my backpacking interrailing trip in Eastern Europe I'm taking at the end of the summer. I promise that I am studying at University College London this fall semester, and it starts late September, and so starting late August, I will be interrailing for about a month and going to, I want to say 9 or 10 countries. But so basically, I noticed that when I was doing research, because I love doing research and finding places and stuff, there's a lot of vlogs of the actual trip part. There weren't many videos necessarily about the actual planning process because it's complicated and it takes a long time. But I had such a fun time doing it, and I know that this can be helpful for some people. I think I did pretty well planning it, but I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. So today, this video is gonna be the planning process part 1. So everything from choosing destinations, routes, transportation, etc., etc. I'm gonna describe this planning process part 1 in 9 steps. So, okay, so step 1 is to make a Google map anywhere you are possibly interested in going. I just would see a photo and I'd search where it was, add it to this list of saved places, and I'd make a master map. And this map, it's gonna be huge. You're not gonna hit all these places in one trip, or at least I wasn't. But it's just kind of, generally you can see where you wanna go, what places are centered around certain areas. I made this giant, I call it my master map, a bunch of places in Europe that I just starred, and I said I'm interested in going to these. There's not really any qualifications for these places. It's just wherever I wanted to go, hadn't seen before, etc., etc. So step 1.5 is finding these places. I already knew I wanted to go to kind of lesser popular places just because I had gone to the big cities before several times, and I really hadn't gone past Germany/Italy, more east. So I decided I want to center around there. I found these places is just by researching a lot. So you want to ask yourself what you truly want to see. But if you're kind of interested, you don't really know where to go. If you're doing a long trip, you can just search in Google list form, basically. So top places for young people, top European hidden gems, best places to visit in the summer, must visits for bucket list. There's a lot of lists out there. You can just Google them. You can search YouTube videos. Travel vloggers will have so much information, and obviously they can show you via video/photo, and it's just an easy way to kind of get an idea, set your own personal itinerary rather than kind of doing what most people do or what is suggested by normal sites. Look at these places, find them, add them to the map. There are step 1 and step 1.5. Step 2, you use this map to kind of, like I said, sketch out general possible paths you could take depending on how long you're going for. You kind of look at what region are all your places in. So for me, most of my saved places were in Eastern Europe or Spain, Portugal. And so I decided to do the Eastern Europe because it was longer. It was for a longer period of time that I wanted to go. That's step 2. Step 3 is deciding on your transportation, which can be really determinant on where you're going, as some places are a lot easier to get to via plane, train, etc. I decided to go interrailing. So some sites to look at if you're interested in that is definitely Eurorail, which obviously it shows you the passes you can have, the pass available, the routes available, the popular train. It also has a lot of itineraries, which is super nice, and interesting places people go. Look at Man in Seat 61, which is by far the most in-depth review of every possible route you can take from place A to place B. If you want to do plane, sometimes it's cheaper than trains if you're not doing classes. Skyscanner, Google Flights, or Hopper. I definitely obviously would recommend Skyscanner. It's a really popular one, but also even Google Flights, just sites that you can track flight prices and see what days are the cheapest for certain flights. And then for buses, which are great. They just take longer, but they're often cheaper. I recommend using Flixbus. I've used them in the past, and they've been pretty reliable generally. Got me where I wanted to go. That's great. Step 4, now we're decided on Interrailing, and I bought the 7-day pass in 1 month. Obviously, if you're not going for 1 month, or if you want to visit less places, like, you can choose the pass that works for you. But from there, I figured out that I could have roughly like 8 to 10 destinations, depending on like how I was kind of moving about. Like, I kind of figured out how many destinations I could have. For step 5, I narrowed down my destination/route choices from the number of destinations I could have, and then as well as what my mode of transportation was, i.e. train. This was pretty much the crucial step, because originally my plan, before I decided to go Interrailing specifically, was to start in Czech Republic and go down through Hungary, from Budapest to Bucharest, Bucharest to Sofia, Sofia to Athens, Greece for a while, and then come back up the Adriatic Sea through Albania, Croatia, and end up somewhere near the Czech Republic again. But I counted 3 problems with this. Firstly, the train ride from Budapest to Bucharest was 16 hours long, and I wasn't willing to do that. Secondly, I would have to probably fly from Bucharest to Sofia, from Sofia to Athens. And thirdly, there's 4 problems actually. 4 problems. Third, if I was in Greece, I'd probably want a separate pass for Greece, like a ferry pass or just a Greece region pass. So I could go island hopping. And I didn't know how long I wanted to stay in Greece either, because I wanted to island hop. And fourth, it was seemingly impossible to get from Greece to Croatia. Like, the trains were just very complicated on the Adriatic Sea coast. So these things kind of were like stressing me out. So I said, okay, let's just end in Greece, get rid of Croatia and Slovenia and those over there. But I still had the first 3 problems. And so I decided, you know what, we're gonna do Greece separately so I have more time to experience it, and add back Croatia, and instead do a smaller loop, getting rid of Romania and Bulgaria, which is sad, but like, I can visit those later, because it's much more feasible with train. And I only have 2 overnight trains. They're 8 hours long. I don't mind taking overnight trains. I think they're really cost effective. And so I figured out my route that's feasible with Interrailing, and I was really excited about it. So mine is now roughly, I'm not gonna say the exact cities, but I start in Czech Republic, I go down to Austria with a day trip to Bratislava, and then from Austria to Slovenia to Croatia to where I'm spending about 9 days in Croatia to Hungary to the other side of Slovakia to Poland back to, and then I end in Prague, fly to Prague, back to London. So now that you have your route, step 6 is deciding specific train times, which can basically shape how many days you are spending in each city or town. You can decide, like, if you're taking an overnight train, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, all that jazz. And then from there, it also decides how many nights you're staying and how many nights you need to book for hostels. In step 7, we're going back to step 1 basically. You gotta map it out. And this time it's a lot more narrowed down, a lot less places. I know a lot of people use Interrail Planner to do this and they see the exact route. I prefer Google Map Maker, just because I like having all my stuff in one place. So I use Google Map Planner to map out a trip. Oh, it looks somewhat like this. So there's lines in between, and you can also see how long it takes via like car if you're driving and stuff like that. So I did that for step 7, as well as I use the Interrail website, website to create my specific itinerary for the exact train times I wanted to take and the exact train stations I wanted to be at. And then I just save that itinerary to my desktop. This is straight off the Interrail website. Interrail, my trip. Interrail, it looks like that. So I just have that saved as well. And yeah, that's how I planned everywhere I was going, how I was getting there. Planning process part 2 will be about hostels, budget, accommodation. I'm keeping track of money and things I need, all my like airport, train, bus info, everything like that. And then after that will be my like everything I'm buying for this trip, my packing, and then hopefully some vlogs of my trip. I'm very excited. So I'll see you in the next part. Have a good day. Bye.